can be so sharp, you know. You make no. If I never want to put this a short, you know.
I'm telling you, I forgot to shot.
Hmm?
I'm telling you, I said, tell you, I forgot to shot.
Oh, I think it's safe. I think it's safe if I cut it, not cut it too long. Or what you want.
No, I said, are you sure you don't want to cut it long?
Oh.
Hi, Roger here. Welcome back to my channel. So, Global Technologies, we do a lot of networking stuff. We work for both home and commercial entities. So, I'm going to be talking about security cameras again in this video. And particularly, we're going to be looking at how you go about selecting, as best as is possible, storage for your security camera system, your DVR or your NVR. Now, let me just put this out there first, and this is something, the question that I ever get asked from time to time, what size storage do I need for my system? Let me just say that there's no one size fits all. So it's not that situation where you have, your neighbor, for instance, may have a security camera system. You are putting in place one, and because your neighbor has, let's just say, 4 terabytes of storage, that you should have 4 terabytes of storage too. No, everybody's situation is situational. There are a lot of variables that we have to consider in the matrix. All right. So that's what the video is going to be about, and let's just get right into it. Now, the first thing that you want to consider is the storage capacity, and as I would have alluded to earlier, there's no one size fits all to getting storage. There are a lot of different variables that has to come into you have to look at when you decided on the size storage. So you have to think about, for instance, the amount of cameras. But let me just start with the type of camera. So the type of cameras that you have. So for instance, this one here, this is a bullet camera. And I believe this is 5 megapixels or 8 megapixels. I have on my glasses. I think it's about 5 megapixels. These are a little bit lower megapixels. So when we talk about the megapixels, it is really the quality of the images that are going to be captured. And of course, the higher the resolution, the higher the megapixel, the larger the captured footage is going to be. So if you have security cameras that have pretty high resolution, then expect that those cameras or that system is going to need much larger storage than, let's just say, a system that has cameras that has lower resolution. That's one. You have to also think about things like the frame rate. You have to think about things like the compression being used. You have to think about how frequently you will be rewriting the images, well, not the images, but the footage. All right. So those are things that are critical, that are key to the situation. That's number one. And let me just say that in addition to what I said in number one there, the first tip is that you have to also consider if you're going to be capturing footage continuously, because you can configure your security camera system to only respond to movements. All right. So that is key also. The second thing that needs to be considered when you're thinking about the storage for your security camera system is if the hard drive that you're using, if it is surveillance grade. Now, let me say that there are different types of hard drives out there, and then there are those that are specifically designed for surveillance systems. And the reason for that is that with a surveillance system, with a DVR or NVR, the hard drive, it undertakes a whole lot of workload. So there is continuous writing that is being done to the drive. It is constantly under, let me just say, a whole lot of pressure to work, which is different from even, how, let us say, the drive in your regular desktop or laptop, may function, or even in a server. The files also that are being written to a drive in a surveillance system, camera system, also, they're going to be large files. Okay, so you have to make sure that the drive that is installed, that is a surveillance, because these hard drives, they are specifically designed for that type of workload. Tip number 3 is look at reliability and dependability. So when you're going to get the storage, you think in terms of brand. So the company that manufactured this particular hard drive, is it one that is reputable? Is it one that is really known for producing real high quality storage, particularly here in our hard disk drives, right? So that is something you need to give consideration to. Number 4, look at the data transfer rate. Look also at the cache, and of course, the larger the cache on the drive, the faster you're going to find that the performance will be also. Now, as it relates to tip number 5, you have to think about redundancy. And even when I, dealing with commercial customers, this is the type of conversation that I have with them, especially redundancy. They typically, will have mission critical. It's a mission critical environment, and it's very important. Not that for a home user, their system is not important, but with commercial activities, you find that things are so much different. So you have to make sure that you have redundancy, and redundancy really speaks to your contingency. To reduce downtime, to reduce things like the hard drive crashing and losing your data. So what type of backup system do you have in place? That is what redundancy speaks to. And so we're talking about things here, like RAID. So if you're going, just to say you're putting in a security camera system within a commercial environment, this is something that you have to give consideration to. Does the system lends itself to implementing RAID so that you can have a backup system. So if your hard drive, if you have a hard drive, failing in the system, there should be some other drive that to which the footages would be backed up, and so would not allow you to completely lose all of your videos or footage captured. So the final thing that I want to mention here, this is now tip number 6, is your budget. This is key, and your budget is going to is quite important because it is going to determine a number of things. It's going to determine, for instance, the type and quality of drive that you get, and also the size drive that you are also able to get. Now, these drives can be quite expensive. They can cost quite a bit of money, especially if you have a CCTV camera system, which comprises of a whole lot of cameras. Like even tens of cameras. We're talking about a whole lot of storage here. So, the budget is quite important, right? So things like 4 terabyte, 6 terabyte and so forth in a security camera system, here it's kind of pretty much standard, for a typical 4 to 8 camera system thereabout. Once you go above that, and let me just say that those hard drives can be very expensive. So you're looking at like a 4 terabyte hard drive here in Jamaica, running you, and of course the cost will vary based on your supplier or where you purchase it. The cost can run you, in the region of about 180, 190 US dollars. That's it. Thank you for watching. And before you go, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscription button. Yes, become a subscriber. Hit the notification bell too, so that when I upload these new videos, you'll be automatically notified. Like the video. Yeah, man, if you watch a video, you get value from the video. Like it, watch other videos too, and also share the videos. See you again in the next one. Take care.